uh, in response to his reasonable suspension. I mean, as you know, I'm an attorney, so I'm not trying to be too difficult or anything like that, but I do practice immigration law. I've done it for over 30 years with Shabani and Crumbly. And my concern is that a foreign national falls under the federal guidelines.
Yes, sir.
And our Constitution is pretty much clear that if you are a foreign national and happen to be found in the United States, you are under the federal guidelines,
Yes, sir.
not the state. So a police officer, per se, should not be able to really inquire into the person's identity as far as what country you're from, do you have a passport, do you have a green card, or anything like that. They do obviously need to inquire about, do you have a driver license, because he's driving a license within the state of Alabama. That is a proper thing to do. Do you have insurance, for example? Yes. And what is your name? What is your identity? And they can run his name or whatever to see if he's wanted or there's a warrant for his arrest. But when it comes to arresting someone because of their status, if they are here illegally, what have you, I just don't feel comfortable that a police officer, a state police officer, would take someone into custody because of that.
Yes, sir.
Moreover,
and we will not.
Right. But I mean, but some of the other jurisdictions, and you're aware, they will do that. Unfortunately, they will racial profiling, number one, and they will arrest individuals because of whatever they look, if they look not normal or they don't look like local or what have you. I mean, I myself had a situation whereby, whenever I went to court in some places, some jurisdictions in the counties, they would ask me, "Are you a lawyer?" Yes, I am a lawyer. Here's my ID. Show them all that stuff to just prove that who I am. What's wrong with me? I'm a lawyer. So those type of racial profiling, I think it needs to stop. I don't think that it has any place in our community, regardless of what county or what states that we're in. But unfortunately, we see those atrocities taking place in different jurisdictions over and over and over and over. Sometimes individual, I just had I'll give you an example. Just had a client who been here for 24 years, got kids, 5 of them, married, and he got pulled over because his trailer tag was expired,
Sure.
And as a result of that, the officer basically arrested him. He went to jail, and then, as you know now, I think that this is the new trend. When they get into the jail, the jailer somehow, they're connected with ICE, and the ICE officers, they see, that individual that's been arrested, and they came and picked him up.
Yes, sir.
And deported him.
And that's very concerning to me because, I don't see a lot of racial profiling. I've heard about it, and I've heard concerns from people and people saying that it's racial profiling. The one thing I would say that all officers have to make a stop based on probable cause that a crime is committed, okay, or reasonable suspicion, as I told you previously. I'm not familiar with the case of of that particular person. I know that we're not going to arrest someone, as you just mentioned, and nor do we have a responsibility to arrest someone for their immigration status. The only thing that we are required to do now by law, which was previously discretionary, is now the law says that when a law enforcement officer in the state of Alabama has reasonable suspicion to believe that the person is is here illegally, then they have to notify immigration.
Would be a reasonable suspicion?
A traffic violation would be probable cause for an officer, one of our officers, to come in contact with them.
Right.
Like I mentioned to you previously with him, is when our officers come in contact with someone in the community,
yes,
and it's not involving a crime, we're not going to be checking their immigration status. I'm not going to go, and I want people to know that we're not going to be going to the school. We're not going to be going to places where they shop. and interviewing them or talking to them and asking them about their immigration status.
Chief, is that a policy specifically for Leeds, or is it, to your knowledge, across the board throughout the state of Alabama?
Well, my particular, the thing that I've read in the law is an officer, whenever they have reasonable suspicion to make a stop.
Yes.
And for us, the only time we're going to use that reasonable suspicion, and I believe every other officer should, is when they've made a stop for reasonable suspicion of a crime being committed or probable cause that a crime is being committed.
I see.
And then at that time, then their immigration status should be checked. But as far as dealing with the citizens in our community, we're not going to go out and try to develop reasonable suspicion to say and stop someone or develop something where we're going to notify ICE that, hey, we need to remove this person. Now, if I had someone in our community that I knew was a criminal, was, trafficking drugs,
yes,
committed crime, then we're going to look for reasonable suspicion to have interaction with them, because we don't want those people in our community.
We don't either.
Regardless of what their race, nationality is.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
I really
sir.
appreciate for explaining.